Today, we will be looking at, people that could become champ against Reilly Wright. Could this person beat Reilly Wright? We shall see. I shall be ranking. We've got Anu, which is, someone that's definitely going to be the new champ if they face Reilly in amateur. Okay, we've got could beat him. Maybe, maybe on a good day, they could beat him. Maybe a draw. Maybe when they fought before, or if they haven't fought before, and I feel like it would, maybe they could pull off a draw, then I will put them in there. Not beating him, yeah, they're not beating him. And flatlined, they will get demolished by him. So you see we've got the people all down below. We've got Jake, Matthew, me, Jan, Kenzie, Ty, Ollie, and Zach. Now, I will try to be as unbiased as possible with these, and I shall go off of what I know. I've been to every fight. I know what everyone is like, and this will be very interesting to say the least. So to start us off, we'll go with Jake. Okay, Jake has fought Reilly multiple times, and I think they fought like 5 times, and every time it's either a Reilly win or a Jake it's a draw, right? So with Jake's current improvement, I would like to see how he performs against Zak. If he beats Zak, then I would definitely rate him higher. But from the past results and styles, they kind of work differently. And Jake's very aggressive and it puts Reilly on the back foot. But when Jake gasses out, it then turns into Reilly's fight very, very quickly. And Jake's known for winning that first round against Reilly pretty much every fight they fought. But let's say it's a 3-rounder, Jake will use all his energy to destroy Reilly in the first, and then Reilly will catch him second and then win the third. So, do I see Jake beating Reilly? Could beat him, is probably the best way to put it. In amateur, it depends on what it is. If it's pro, then I'd say could beat him, right? If it's pro, we're going could beat him. But if we're going in amateur, which Reilly is the champion, I'm going to go maybe a draw. Because when it's pro, I feel like Reilly has this extra level of pressure on him, because he doesn't like fighting in front of a camera. Whereas in amateur, Reilly is unstoppable. This guy, he's great. He's managed to do great things in amateur. So I believe that maybe a draw in amateur is definitely for Jake. Now, moving on to the next person, we've got Matty P, right? Newcomer into the block. They did spar recently, and Reilly did say he didn't feel like he did too great against Matthew. But again, it was only a spar. And if they had both time to prepare for this fight and we had it scheduled for the title, Reilly would definitely perform a lot better. So, with this fight, it would be very interesting to say the least, because Matty P's onslaught, constant pressure, and he's got a very stubborn, stiff block. He's got a very stiff style to him. He's very stiff, very high guard, and if you set up traps, he's not going to fall for him. I've sparred Matty P as well. We've seen that Jake can out-pressure Matthew. You can definitely out-pressure him, but Reilly isn't like that. Reilly's style is very patient and he's very powerful. Can Reilly break Matthew's guard? I don't know. I don't think Reilly can. We've seen Matty P. He's very stubborn, like I said. He pushes relentlessly, and Matty P has a great gas tank. I feel like if it's an 8-rounder, because it's going to be a championship fight, I feel like Reilly would take earlier rounds, but later into the fight, I feel like Matthew will pull back. But when Reilly's in championship mode, you can't really beat Reilly at amateur, especially if you're a newcomer like Matthew. And after seeing Matthew's performance against Jake, if I was Reilly, I would definitely watch that footage, learn from what I did in the spar, and do everything that I've learned, which is Matty P's weaknesses, which is if you're more patient than Matthew, because Matthew isn't so great offensively, he's very good defensively, and he can fight on the back foot as well as on the front foot, which is great for a newcomer. It's very rare you see that straight away. But with Matty P, I believe he'll put on that frontal pressure, and then Reilly will catch him clean with a brilliant right hand round the guard, because we've seen Matty P can be very tight with jabs, which I throw a lot. We've seen Jake with the hooks, and then Matty P, I don't think Reilly will telegraph that right hook, and Matty P will get hit with one, and Matty P will be on the back foot for the rest of the fight. So I believe if we're talking for the for the amateur title, Reilly versus Matty P in amateur, I've got to say maybe a draw, right? You know what? No, we'll go not beating him, okay? Because we've seen these guys spar, And Reilly admitted that he didn't feel like he did too great, but I didn't feel like he lost that in any way. And yeah, I've got to say he's not beating him as of right now. He has the potential to be up here, but for now he's not beating him. Now we're moving on to me, right? Reilly's only loss is against me, right? And again, I don't want to be biased in any way, but basically, okay, if we're talking 4 or 5 fights ago, it'd be this, right? But with current Reilly, you know, me and him had our recent fight, which was supposed to be just a spar, but we ended up putting it on the records. And, you know, that performance that day, you could argue you could beat him. But again, as much as I want to stay humble and everything, and I don't want to be seeming biased, but this fight, if I was fully prepared for Reilly and this was for the title and I was fully locked in on winning the title, I'm telling you now, it's new. And I love Reilly to bits, but I just don't see myself losing that fight it's the styles, right? Reilly, he changes his styles often, but if he sticks to his main one, I can switch styles quite easily. Reilly, I believe he's best at just sticking to that patient, counter-punching style. And when he tries to be aggressive, it does work. It does work. But when you've seen our past spars, we've sparred all the time. And I probably would never face Reilly for the belt because I don't want to. But it would probably have to be up here. And yeah, that's just my opinion on it. If anyone disagrees, put it in the comments. But yeah, that's what I believe. That's what I believe. Moving on to Little Shoobs, Jan. Frontal pressure. We have seen these guys fight before for the amateur title. Reilly defended his belt against Jan, his first ever title defense, after beating Zak for the belt, right? Which we'll get onto Zak last. But with Jan, I don't see Jan beating Reilly for a long while. Jan needs to improve his technique by a mile because Reilly just whooped him that fight. And you could argue Jan in flatlined if he doesn't improve, right? But we did see Jan turn the tides, right? In the first 6 rounds, flatlined, right? But in the final 2 rounds of that fight, Jan pulled back and showed Reilly that you can't sleep on Jan, right? So I would definitely say not beating him, maybe a draw, but I'm going to say not beating him as of right now because we've seen Jan fight Reilly and he just didn't quite have that skill level yet. He doesn't have the experience to beat Reilly yet, but that is yet. Now, I'm not saying Jan would beat him or thrash him, but Jan has the potential to maybe a draw, could beat him. But for now, not beating him. Kenzie, right? We've seen these 2 fight as well. I think this was after Reilly or shortly before he won the title. I think it was afterwards, but it was kind of like an exhibition fight. We didn't put the title on the line. He just wanted to fight Kenzie. And yeah, flatlined, right? Kenzie, he's rapid. Bless him, he has no gas tank at all. He was gassed within 20 seconds. It was 3 20-second rounds, I kid you not. 3 20-second rounds because he couldn't handle any more than that. And again, it was his first day. He was a little bit nervous, but flatlined is where he belongs, right? Ty, this is very interesting. They're very close in real life. Those two peas in a pod, right? But Ty, I fought him the other day, and nothing personal against Ty, but I believe I dominated that whole fight. I don't think I lost a second of that fight. Now, that's nothing to put Ty down because he can be very good. And I've always said from the start, his fight against Jan when he beat Jan, he has so much potential. And his style, his ability, his technique is so good for a guy that doesn't really take it seriously on the occasion, right? And when me and him sparred recently, he didn't seem like he was putting in the work, and he wasn't as good as he could be, right? Maybe that was just his mindset on the day. Maybe I was just outperforming him and he kind of did a Leon Edwards, and when you kind of lose, like, let's say the first 30 seconds of the fight, you kind of just shut down. Those are those kind of people. I'm quite the opposite. I have the different mindset on it. But there are some people out there that are just like Ty, who will see themselves lose the first 30 seconds and go, oh, yeah, I've lost this fight. I've got nothing. I'm nowhere near him. Rather than having that get up and go like, okay, well, I know he's better than me, but I can outwork him. So Ty, ability-wise, he could definitely beat Reilly. 100%, he definitely has the technique and the style to beat Reilly. And they have sparred before, and I've seen what Ty can do. And I think Ty surprised Reilly himself. But with Ty's current mindset and how he sees a lot of these fights, Maybe a draw. Maybe a draw. You know, no, nothing against Ty, but his recent performance against me, I don't think he's beaten Reilly. He's not beating him. If Ty had the right mindset and he whooped Yan differently, right, and he really went for it, he could beat him, right? But as of right now, he's not beating him. Okay. We'll leave Ollie last. We'll go with Zak. Okay. And Zak, this is very interesting because Reilly has beat Zak twice. So Zak's first ever fight was Reilly. Reilly beat him, but Zak won the second round, which was really surprising. He hurt Reilly. The weight difference may contribute to that, but they both have insane power. But Zak is a different level of power. Pound for pound, probably Reilly, but Zak, because that weight, just so powerful, natural power. And Reilly's recent fight for the title against Zak was really, really good. Reilly powered through. He had to really man up to take those shots because some of the shots he was eating, the style Reilly went out there doing was trying to out-muscle, out-power a man that weighed about 20 kilos heavier than him. So Reilly's game plan going into that fight wasn't great. And Reilly's already admitted that if he was to fight Zak again, he could see himself losing, right? Now, obviously, that's a wrong mindset towards it. But could Zak beat him? 100%. He could beat him, right? And new, probably not. I don't see Zak certainly beating him because we've seen Reilly dominate the earlier rounds and Zak just picks up later. But with Zak's current situation fighting Jake, I think maybe if we see Jake's performance, maybe and new, if he really surprises us against Jake, maybe. But as of right now, could beat him. That power and the weight difference definitely made a factor. And finally, to end us off, we've got Ollie, okay? This guy retired ages ago. We saw him in one spar. I've trained him once as well prior to that spar. And yeah, he was all right. I wouldn't say he's god-awful, but it was a very weird style. It was very high guard, jab away, and he was an outside fighter, I'll tell you that. And Reilly Wright is, he kind of dilly-dallies about with the range, okay? He's in and out of range. Reilly can mix it up very well. Ollie, strict, out of range. He's got good reach. He'll just keep you at bay. But Ollie's issue is he's trying to perform that style, but he didn't have the experience for it. And as he was trying to keep you at range, it was very easy to get on the inside of range. And I believe I have longer reach than him. And I still found it better just working on the inside because you don't want to play to his strengths. And he didn't have the speed or power to put a threat to make you think I'm not going inside of range. He didn't have the speed at least. So could he beat Reilly? Probably not. Probably not. I'm telling you now, would it be flatlined? Nah, flatlined. He's not beating him, but I don't think he's getting flatlined. Nah, he's getting flatlined. Yeah, I'm being generous, right? Because Reilly is the champ, right? Ollie, he believed he could come in and wing it, okay? But Reilly's had so much experience. He's won so many fights since. He's managed to get past Zak, get past Yan. Reilly's gone through wars. He spars often, and he spars the best of the best. Reilly's resume is so good. He doesn't fight no chumps, excusing Kenzie. But, Reilly doesn't turn down a challenge, and I really love that for him. And I think he's fought everyone. He's at least sparred everyone, and that is that just shows the person he is. And from what I've seen of Reilly and Ollie he can't compare with Reilly's speed, experience, power, and that's why I believe, Ollie's going to get flatlined. And I don't mean knocked out, I mean dominated. Maybe knocked out, but we never know, right? And again, he's probably never going to fight with us again, so we'll never see that one. But let the imagination run wild.
Give him a kiss.